Ladies, it's BaconSauce here, and today I'm going to be ranking all the canon Star Wars movies, including the Clone Wars movie. And this is my own personal opinion, so please don't get too mad at me in the comment section if your favourite movie didn't get the place it wanted to. And also, I wanted to mention that I love all the Star Wars movies, but I just like some better than others. Well, let's get into it, shall we? In number 10, we have the Clone Wars movie. This movie is a cool movie with some cool action scenes, but if you think about it, it's just a big advertisement for the Clone Wars TV show. And sure, the Clone Wars TV show was great and all, but the Clone Wars movie? Meh, not so much. Number 9, we have Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. This movie is one of the most hated movies in the Star Wars community. And I'm not disagreeing here. The romance between Anakin Skywalker and Padme is just cringy and rushed. The acting is crap, and there is an overuse of CGI. There are some great moments in this movie, like Anakin's mother dying in Anakin's arms, and the battle between Obi-Wan and Jango Fett was cool, and the Battle of Geonosis was good, and really cool to watch, but it didn't last for long. For number 8, we have Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, the first installment in the prequel trilogy. This movie had some great moments, like Darth Maul, the Duel of Fates theme, pod racing, and Liam Neeson. Oh yeah! But this movie also had some horrible moments in it as well. But worst of all, this movie had Jar Jar Binks. Coming in number 7, we have the newest addition to the Star Wars saga, Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Before we start this little review thingy-majiggy, I'd just like to say, spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! I'm going to give you 5 seconds to click off the video or skip to the next segment or whatever. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, you're gone. Okay. This is the newest addition to the Star Wars saga. I'm sorry to say, guys, but I hate this movie. It was a giant disappointment, and Luke was a big letdown in this movie. And Rey's parent reveal was horrible. It wouldn't be too bad if they built up the whole who's Rey's parents thing in The Force Awakens. They also ruined amazing characters like Finn in this movie. If you've known me for a long time now, I love Finn. I loved his backstory as a stormtrooper and stuff. And supremely to Snoke, he deserved much better, and his death was a horrible way to end a really mysterious and interesting character. I hope whoever made that decision was fired. And what annoys me a lot, the most, is the way that they use Admiral Holdo to throw logic in the trash so they could just move the plot forward. And most importantly, Rey is a Mary Sue, okay? Number 6, we have Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. When this movie first came out, I really enjoyed it, but after watching it a few times, I've started to dislike it much more. The one thing that annoys me the most with this film is the New Hope aspects from it. It just ruins the movie for me. Sure, there are really cool moments in this movie, like the junkyard at Jakku, Finn's backstory, one of my favourites, Kylo Ren killing Han Solo, and Rey and Finn vs Kylo Ren is a really cool lightsaber battle in my opinion. And I really like some of the new characters like Finn, Maz Kanata, Kylo Ren, and Captain Phasma. The reason I didn't say Rey is because Rey is a Mary Sue! We have Star Wars, Rogue One, a Star Wars story, whatever, I don't know how to say. I really like this movie, as it was a twist on what we're used to in Star Wars. And sure, the first 2 acts are really, really slow, and the characters are really bland. But this movie was an experiment, and I personally enjoyed it. I was not expecting all the characters to die, but in a way, I liked it. And the Darth Vader scene at the end, when Vader tried to retrieve the Death Star plans, was just amazing. Darth Vader is a freaking tank. He absolutely destroyed those rebel scums. And the space battles and the Battle of Scarif is just amazing to my eye. And number 4, we have Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. A lot of people hate this movie, but I personally really, really like it. The fall of the Jedi / Order 66 is very emotional. And Anakin storming into the Jedi Temple and slaying all of the Jedi is one of my favourite scenes in the whole Star Wars saga. And every time I watch the end of the duel with Anakin and Obi-Wan Kenobi, it gives me goosebumps. Anakin just lets out all his rage on Obi-Wan, revealing the truth to him about what he's been going on this whole time. The opera scene in this movie was also a beautiful thing to watch. And the ground action and the space action in this movie is also really great. And all of the lightsaber duels in the Coming in at number 3, we have Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. This film was made to be a family film, especially with the Ewoks. This is a great 80s movie, with amazing special effects at the time. This film has some really emotional scenes in it that make me almost want to cry. Especially Luke seeing his real father's face. It gives me goosebumps down my spine. Of course, this movie has a few plot holes there and there, but seriously, this movie is a classic. With its family-friendly vibes, emotional moments, and cool action sequences, how can you not hate this movie? Number 2, we have Star Wars, or Star Wars Episode 4, The New Hope. The movie that started it all. This movie is a total classic and has some of the most memorable moments in film history. This movie blew people away in 1976, had special effects no one had ever seen before, and was an original sci-fi movie with an original story, and some beautiful scenes that are highly recognizable. The fight between Obi-Wan and Vader isn't as fast and a long battle like they had in Revenge of the Sith, but it's Obi-Wan's last stand against his apprentice that betrayed him. For number 1, we have Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. I know most of you won't be surprised that The Empire Strikes Back is number 1. And this film is one of the most legendary films in the history of the film industry, with legendary scenes such as the Battle of Hoth, Cloud City, the Cloud City Duel, Han and Carbonite, and brother and sister loving each other way too much. And this movie has one of the most unexpected plot twists of all time. And one of the most famous and recognizable movie quotes of all time. Which was also an amazing lightsaber duel as well. And most importantly, The Empire Strikes Back introduced one of my favorite characters of all time, Boba Fett. Anyway guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like and subscribe and stuff. Please subscribe and like. This video took me a week and a half to make. The longest time I spent on a video. It took a week just to write the script. 2 days to get all the photos and another 2 days to edit everything. And I'm recording this on Christmas right now. Since New Zealand's ahead of you guys, Americans. It's Christmas Eve for you, but it's Christmas Day for me. Here's the timeline. It's taken me a lot of time. This is probably the most time I spent on a video. Anyway, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and peace out, squad fam.